All right, the last class period was great. Again, had a great time at Battle High School. Of course, the school tour was great. I definitely liked how it was set up. Obviously, the kids had a really, they should be proud of their school. I love the cafeteria and how they eat it in the open, with the big window overlooking the football field. She did lead a discussion around how she had to make sure that the high school did not feel new, for the students to feel like it was their school, and all of the work that she did inviting patrons and students to the school before it opened, to make sure that there was that sense of community or family there. The school itself was bright, welcoming. A couple things I really liked were the sped room and how it was kind of its own place. I'm sure that the kids appreciate that. Also, again, I'm really impressed by the desks that the kids sit at these days. I noticed it in the other two building tours, but the high school, again, did a great job where the desks could be raised or lowered. I know whenever I was teaching and how much activity and energy was in the classroom, that having the option to use the space the way they can use it would have been very nice. Overall, and then we also did an activity where we each looked at correlates to effective schools. I focused on high expectations for success. So we talked about different ways how teachers can feel like they are a valuable contributor to the school, so it can learn, grow, and improve. And that seemed to kind of hit on a couple themes from the Saturday seminars. One being instructional leadership on the part of the principal, and the other student-centered learning and the growth mindset. We talked instructional leadership and having to teach the teachers, and practicing what you preach, but teaching teachers how to, talk with parents, that sending kids to a principal's office is meant to change behavior, and then specific strategies from the Whitaker presentation on how we can teach the teachers. Another major theme was, the growth mindset and student-centered learning, with the understanding that we're all learning, we're all growing, making mistakes is part of the process, and that's just something that I noticed kept coming up throughout the course of the class. Some things that inspired me, obviously anytime you hear Todd Whitaker speak, you leave ready to tackle the world. I love his anecdotes, although I know he's not a big fan of state departments of education. His words of wisdom were definitely productive as usual. Other thing, and I know I've mentioned it a few times in this course, was the work or the experience at Stonefield School in New Zealand, where they put into practice a lot of the strategies that are in some of the books that we're reading. The assessment capable learners, or how they do it with the visible learning. They break the curriculum down into manageable chunks, let students know where they're at and where they're going next, and preparing them with strategies to grapple with the learning, to experience success and failure, but constantly looking forward on ways to grow and improve, thinking with the idea, that intelligence isn't fixed from the Sapir book, that it's malleable, that you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep improving. The other one was, and that goes along with collective teacher efficacy. Constantly building your team, building confidence, building the school culture really that was focused on learning. That said, I want more of those things. I love more concrete details as far as strategies that a principal can use to put these things into practice, but also to convince the teachers to put this into practice, to convince the staff, to sell the staff on these things. Just love words of wisdom, words of advice, and things that I can steal and use whenever I'm a principal. Some of the reinforced beliefs around flipped learning. As a teacher, that I use flipped learning all the time with the ELLs, because it allows them to really sit and concentrate and rewatch and try to catch on, even though there's the language barrier there. But I specifically liked some of the strategies to use with staff and parents. Flipping staff meetings, flipping professional development, and flipping parent meetings. I thought it was great ideas and something that I do plan on using. But it definitely reinforced beliefs I had about flipped learning and using technology to continue to kind of reimagine a learning sequence. Book recommendations, I thought they were all good. The Sapphire book was amazing, and honestly that was the one that I rented, and now I'm going to have to go buy it because all those strategies are great, and I especially love the videos that went along with it. Knowing my learning style and being as visual as I am, those videos really helped. I'd say the DeWitt book was probably my second favorite. It was an easy read. I love the examples and the practical strategies that he gave. Did feel like he spent a lot of time quoting other people, but those were great strategies that are helpful to instructional leaders. The School Culture Recharged book, I thought it had good information in it. I liked the survey. I liked being able to quantify school culture and evaluate it, and target areas for improvement. That said, it was a little bit of a dry read, if I was being fully honest. It lacked a lot of the anecdotes and the relatable stories that are usually found in those Whitaker books. But that said, it was a lot of great information. And I do plan on using that culture survey. I'm glad a tool like that exists to analyze the school culture. So overall, great class. I love the theme as an instructional leader and growth mindset. Sorry this is so late, and see you in a couple weeks.